There was a time when I asked a question that many seekers ask. How do I know the difference between mental chatter and the divine speaking to me? At that stage of my journey, the question felt very important. And it was important because I was learning how to listen inwardly. I was learning how to meditate, how to quiet the mind, and how to recognize that not every thought deserved my attention. During one meditation, a thought came up about a property named Eaglebrook. I had been worried about it, and in the middle of meditation, I heard inwardly, "Why are you worried about Eaglebrook?" At the time, I wondered, was that the divine speaking to me? Or was that just mental chatter? That question stayed with me. But now, looking back, I can see the growth. At that time, I was still trying to separate one voice from another. I was trying to decide, this thought is chatter, but this thought may be divine. I was trying to label the inner movement. But now I see it more clearly. Chatter is nothing but the ego. The ego talks. The ego worries. The ego questions. The ego creates problems, then searches for answers to the problems it created. The mind says, what about this property? What about this deal? What about this person? What about tomorrow? What about what happened yesterday? And then sometimes, another softer thought may come and say, why are you worried? That second thought may feel wiser. It may feel calmer. It may feel like guidance. But even that must be observed. Because the deeper question is not, which voice is divine? The deeper question is, what is aware of both voices? What is aware of the worried thought? What is aware of the calming thought? What is aware of the question, why are you worried? What is aware of the one asking, was that divine or was that chatter? That awareness is where the real inquiry begins. In the beginning, it may be helpful to discern between restless mental chatter and a quieter inner prompting. A restless thought usually carries fear, urgency, anxiety, confusion, or attachment. It pulls you outward. It makes you feel like something is missing, something is wrong, or something must be fixed right now. But a deeper inner movement may come with peace. It may not argue. It may not demand. It may simply reveal something. It may quietly point out, look at this worry. Why are you carrying it? But even then, do not stop at the voice. Do not worship the voice. Do not cling to the message. Go deeper. Ask, to whom did this thought arise? The worry about Eaglebrook arose to me. The question, why are you worried, also arose to me. Then the inquiry must continue. Who is this me? Is it the body? Is it the mind? Is it the investor? Is it the one trying to control the outcome? Is it the one afraid of losing something? When I look closely, I see that worry belongs to the ego. Worry belongs to the personal self, the one who believes it is responsible for everything, the one who believes it is separate, the one who believes it must control life. But in meditation, when I become still, I can see that the worry is just a movement. It comes and goes. The thought comes. The thought disappears. The feeling comes. The feeling disappears. The concern comes. The concern disappears. But something remains. Not as a thing, not as a voice, not as a personality, not as a divine speaker talking to me. Just silence, just stillness, just the nameless presence that does not need to speak. This is where my understanding has changed. Before I may have said, the divine spoke to me. Now I am more careful, because who is the me that the divine is speaking to? If I say, the divine spoke to me, there is still separation. There is still one who speaks and one who listens. There is still duality. But in deeper inquiry, even that must dissolve. The real silence does not need to speak. The self does not need to explain itself. The absolute does not need to send messages. What we call guidance may simply be the mind becoming quiet enough for clarity to appear. But clarity is still observed. Peace is still observed. A message is still observed. So I must go beyond all of it. This does not mean we ignore insight. It does not mean we reject the quiet wisdom that may arise in meditation. It means we do not mistake the message for the truth. A message can guide you. A thought can point you. A moment of clarity can help you release fear. But the final truth is not in the thought. The final truth is not in the voice. The final truth is not even in the question. It is in that which is aware before the thought appears. So, when worry arises, I no longer need to fight it. I can simply see it. This is ego, not with judgment, not with anger, not with resistance, just clear seeing. The ego worries because that is what ego does. The ego wants control. The ego wants certainty. The ego wants security. The ego wants to know what will happen next. But the self does not worry. The self does not ask, what if? The self does not panic over Eaglebrook or money or property or people or tomorrow. The self simply is. So, when the thought came, why are you worried about Eaglebrook? Maybe at that stage it served its purpose. It helped me pause. It helped me question the worry. It helped me see that something deeper than fear was present. But now, I would take it further. I would not only ask, why am I worried? I would ask, who is worried? And if I say, I am worried, then I must ask, who is this I? That is the doorway. That is where meditation becomes inquiry. That is where spirituality becomes direct, not imagination, not belief, not chasing voices, not trying to decide which thought is holy and which thought is not. Just looking, just seeing, just returning to the source. Because even the most beautiful thought is still a thought. Even the most peaceful inner voice is still something that appears. And whatever appears must also disappear. So, it cannot be the final truth. The ego is chatter. The mind is movement. The voice is movement. The question is movement. The answer is movement. But what is aware of the movement? That is where I rest. That is where I return. That is where the seeker must look. Many people in meditation get caught trying to hear something. They want a message. They want a sign. They want confirmation that the divine is speaking. But the deeper path is not about hearing more. It is about becoming silent enough to see that the one who wants to hear is also part of the mind. The desire for a message is still ego. The desire to be guided is still ego. The desire to be special, chosen, protected, or reassured is still ego. Again, not wrong, just seen. Once it is seen, it loses power. The chatter may continue, but it no longer owns you. The worry may arise, but it no longer defines you. The inner voice may speak, but you do not cling to it. You simply observe. And in observing, you begin to recognize that you are not the chatter. You are not the worry. You are not even the peaceful thought. You are prior to all of it. So today, if someone asks me, how do I know if it is chatter or the divine speaking? I would say, first, see that chatter as ego. Then see that even the one trying to identify the divine is ego. Then go deeper. Ask, what is aware of this? Do not rush to answer. Do not create another concept. Do not say, it is awareness, and stop there. Even the word awareness is only a pointer. Just remain still. Let the thought dissolve. Let the question dissolve. Let the one asking dissolve. What remains does not need a name. That is the growth. I began by trying to discern the voice. Now I see that the true path is to go beyond every voice. The mind dances. The ego chatters. Thoughts whisper. Guidance may appear. But silence remains untouched. And in that silence, there is no confusion. There is no fear. There is no Eaglebrook. There is no problem. There is no seeker trying to understand. There is only that which cannot be named. So, when chatter comes, observe it. When worry comes, observe it. When a peaceful voice comes, observe it. And then ask, what is aware of all this? Stay there, not in the thought, not in the answer, but in the silence before both. That is where the real teaching begins. That is where the ego loses its grip. That is where the seeker begins to disappear. And that is where truth silently reveals itself, not as a voice, but as what has always been present. If this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who may be seeking the same silence. Help me to grow the channel beyond the I am.